Hello. Today I want to talk to you about how I'm currently working on a little doll deck chair for my 14.5, 15-inch size Marie Cruiser dolls. This is a prototype and I haven't finished it yet, but if it all works out, and at the moment it's going quite well, I want to share the sizes with you because it could also be used for like a welly wisher or Palarena Las Amigas, I think they're called, and any similar sized doll. So I just want to show you what I've done so far. So as I said, it's not finished at the moment, it's still very much in its raw form. I've created 2 frames that I've now joined with wooden dowels so it can move like a proper and collapse back down like a proper sun lounger would. So right now I'm going to work out how long my fabric has to be. So as you can see, my canvas hasn't been cut to size yet. I'll feed that through the top here. And hang that in there. I'm going to sit my doll down. Oh, that's very nice. And then work out what height I would be good for her to be, that she sits comfortably, and what the length of the fabric should be. And that to me looks very nice. So is that, yeah, so I will just pop for the moment, line these edges up and pop some needles in there to mark it. And then the other thing that I obviously haven't got yet, if I put this sideways for a minute, is the downward whatever piece of wood that would go and rest down with the bar in these notches that I've cut into these pieces of wood. I don't know what any of this is called, sorry. So let me just grab my measuring thing. I will roughly locate a point where I think it'd be good to have a hole made and a piece of wood going down. So I'm just gonna hold this as tightly as I can and not moving that. The doll sits comfortably. And oh dear, this is not very easy, I tell you. Oh, sorry for shaking you about. And measure that. Well, that's not an exact science. So once I've measured the distance, I will come back to you. Hello back. So I have finished the prototype of deck chair, lounger deck chair, and I'll show you how it works. It's has a bit of a weakness on this point because I moved it too early. I didn't patiently wait for it to dry, so I'm definitely going to put some screws into these bits and sink them in to strengthen that connection, and I will do the same on all the bigger bits. But let's have a look at what the deck chair looks like. See whether I can get that. for you. Is that in the screen? There we go. That is the finished deck chair. And now the big question, will it hold the doll? Will she be able to sit in it? And yes, she can. Yeah, so I'm very happy with this prototype. There are a few little bits and pieces that I still need to sort of send over and refine, but other than that, I would call this a successful project. Our first go of the deck chair. So let's take her back out of it. I will try out some other dolls as well. It actually looks a little bit big on her, I have to say. It might even fit our generation doll or something, so I might get one of those down and have a look whether they fit into this chair as well. So I've got my daughter's lovely little our generation doll here, and a dress that me and her sewed together. So it'd be interesting to see whether she will fit into this chair. I mean, that'd be even a bigger bonus if they can sit in it. And yes, they kind of can. Don't know whether I can. No, I can't get that further away from you. Sorry for the mess in the background. Maybe there. Wow, I'm absolutely chuffed with that, because that means it's a really versatile little project that will get quite a bit of use, I think. So I'm very pleased with that. I will go over all the things, the details with it. I will go over all the details and measurements and see how happy I am with them, and then make your little sketch. So if you want to make one, you could do one yourself, and yeah, have fun. Just please mention when you make one and you show it somewhere that you found the pattern on Magpie Crafts. So thank you very much for watching. Bye. So let me see if I can explain this. So when I started this deck chair or Sunlander, I sort of had rough ideas. I measured, as I said, around the dolls. So now I've sort of created a building plan. None of the measurements were anywhere written down before. They were sort of in my head, and I was trying to work out bit by bit if it was working. So I've put them on paper now. So this very long bit here is 35 centimeters, and so you would need 2 of them, and then the bit that goes in the middle between them here, and 2 pieces here, the flat one and the round one for the fabric to go over. So the bottom one is round and this one inside is round, and this is a flat piece that is the same size as the side wooden pieces, are all 15 centimeters in depth. So that is your outer frame. So if I just gently collapse that, because the 2 frames, they can fold nicely together like that. So I would recommend creating the outer frame first and then taking measurements for your inner frame. So the second ones that I've got here sort of make sure they actually meet your requirements, because you might use thicker or thinner wood for this. My wood is about 1 centimeter thick, and that will all influence your build and the size of the internal frame. So my internal frame is 25 centimeters by 12.7 centimeters in depth. So that's the 25 centimeters, and the inside one is the 12. So I have here, to correspond with the opposites, the inside frame has got the round bit of wood, and the bottom of the frame has got the straight bit of wood. Yeah. And then at 11 centimeters, before I assembled these, I drilled in a hole and then measured up through the holes when I lined my frames up inside, and marked for the inside frame where my hole had to go, and drilled it all the way through on both sides at that same height, and entered a dowel through that, so that my frames were connected and could pivot like that. And then I went ahead and put in the fabric. I sewed the fabric, measured how much I needed in space, and I used a fat quarter, and I used the whole length of the fat quarter. My fabric is 12.5 centimeters. I doubled it up, and the middle bit, the sewing line, is right in the middle. I ironed it flat, and then first connected it down here, and then put it in through the top bit up here, pinned it in place. You know, you saw me do it, checked it with my doll, how did I want her to sit in the chair, and then sewed that all in place, so I knew that was all working. And then I set about measuring how far I wanted the chair to go, and obviously I'm forgetting now, you have to also create a little notch in your inside frame where the back rest of the chair from the top frame will come down and hold your chair up. So I decided where I was going to put in the rest at the outer frame, which depth I wanted it to be. You could have that lower if you wanted. It's all down to you how you want to put this together, but that seemed for me a good place to put it, basically. So, and this piece of wood here, this length is 20 centimeters. Again, I created the holes first, then marked it on here and drilled all the way through and made little dowels to go in. And then I had to measure, once that was all in situ, the width of this piece of wood, and I glued that in. I measured it, cut it, glued it in, and now it's all in place. So these are sort of the measurements. Hopefully that makes sense for the chair. Now you can put a Paula Reina Las Amigas into the chair, or one of the Cathy Cruz fashionista dolls who I've created this for, but I've also put, as you saw me, the Our Generation doll in, and she does fit it. She's slightly too big for it, but she does fit it. So yeah, hopefully somebody is inspired and wants to make the chair. But you know, thank you for watching me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye for now.